welcome to the Transfer Tea with me, Melissa Reddy, where we sip into all the big transfer talking points with the people in the know who are at the heartbeat of covering the stories. Today I've got Adam McCullough and Laurie Whitwell, who are in and amongst the crux of Manchester United. And then there's only one place for us to start, and that is with Marcus Rashford, whose future looks like it's away from the club. That side tells me a lot.
Yeah, it's something that I'd be really disappointed about. I love Marcus Rashford. Been a big fan of him during his time at Manchester United. Obviously being an academy boy as well. I didn't ever think we'd see him in another shirt apart from a Manchester United shirt. So if looking like he's going to leave, at least on loan in this transfer window, it'd be very, very disappointing for me because it wasn't supposed to play out like this. 27 years old, best years of his career coming up, and it looks like it's going to be away from United. That one will sting a little bit.
So sad from Adam's perspective, Laurie, from your own?
Yeah, definitely sad. I mean, you look at what he's achieved already. I think he's 13th in the all-time scorers chart for United, which at 27 is pretty remarkable. I know he's been at the club for a long time, but I think to have that kind of record speaks for itself, speaks to the quality that he's got. And to Adam's point, yeah, he's played under, I think, 8 different managers, including caretakers. So I know it's only a few games, but still perhaps a different voice to listen to, being asked to do different things. That being said, I still come down on the point of you've got to have your own responsibility in all this, and yeah, you might be asked to play a different position, you might be a little bit confused about the messaging coming from above, you know, even the hierarchy, let alone the coaching staff, and clearly I think, you know, you can even point right up to the very top in terms of the Glazers and the amount of debt leveraged onto the club through their takeover and that kind of the mode that kind of set around the place. But that being said, yeah, I think Rashford also can look at himself and think, can I do things better here? You know, clearly Ruben Amorim's come in and has made a pretty quick decision about what he's seeing on the training pitches and then what he is being told away from the pitch. And clearly there's alignment there with the people above him, you know, the INEOS executive and the hierarchy at United. So I feel that they feel like the best solution seems to be a parting of the ways. I think he's then responded to that and feels the same way. A loan, I didn't think was kind of maybe on the cards at the start of the window, but actually the more the window goes on, the more you're hearing from clubs that are interested in him, and it feels like that's the direction of travel.
Speaking of academy graduates, Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, United aren't going to sell them.
You're probably right.
Yeah, try and sell Kobbie Mainoo. I'll be outside everyone's house. I'm not allowing that to happen. That's definitely. I think there'd be riots at Old Trafford if they tried to sell Kobbie Mainoo. There's no way that could happen. I don't know. You guys obviously know a little bit more than me, but it feels like something where the club are maybe trying to get into a position where we're not just going to be giving out contracts. So if you want to be here, kind of A, have to earn your contract, and B, like try and fight for your position to be here. If we kind of say we'll sell anybody, and anyone can get it and anyone can get sold, then, you know, we'll start to see players maybe kind of forcing our hand and trying to fight to stay at the club. That's why it kind of felt to me like, again, changing that culture by just saying, we'll sell anyone.
The narrative now is Kobbie's not untouchable. So there's a conflict, I think, of what United are trying to do.
It could be a message to agents though as well, right? Like, you may think your player's untouchable, so you can ask for X amount, where actually, we don't think that. And then it's maybe like part of the contract negotiations. So that's the only thing that I can try and justify wanting to sell Kobbie Mainoo, because as well, you mentioned like PSR and bringing in pure profit for players. You sell Kobbie Mainoo, try and replace him now. Yeah. How much money is that going to take? Because you're going to have to give out a big contract and you're going to have to give out a big transfer fee.
In that equation.
Like, you're not going to be able to replace him with someone as good as him.
And they've made inquiries over Randall Kolo Muane, who we'll all remember from the summer of 2023. He was on their shortlist along with Rasmus Højlund, who they eventually got. So they've got all their due diligence and stuff done on him. If they, as they are, returning for him, does that show a bit of an error in not going harder for him initially in the summer of 2023? Or purely
Man United/Mainoo asking price as Wonderkid pushed out. Manchester United have slashed the asking price of Kobbie Mainoo as they look to move on the England wonderkid before the end of the transfer window. Mainoo is set to be one of the biggest transfer topics in the last days of the transfer window, with a move away from Old Trafford a distinct possibility. The England midfielder has been an unused substitute in both of Man Utd's opening 2 Premier League fixtures of the new campaign versus Arsenal and Fulham. The Athletic reports that United have been happy to sell Mainoo since January. And while they are not actively pushing the player out of the door, they have slashed his asking price to even below €50 million in order to facilitate a sale. Mainoo could leave Man Utd Football Transfers exclusively reported on Tuesday that Brighton are weighing up the potential of an ambitious bid for the 20-year-old. The Athletic claims that Mainoo prefers a move abroad. Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen have both considered making moves but have not made concrete offers. Real Madrid have also been linked with a loan move, but United only want a sale. The Guardian claims that Mainoo has decided he needs to leave Old Trafford to find first-team football. Ruben Amorim has favored Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in a deep midfield role so far this season, while Manuel Ugarte is also ahead of Mainoo in the pecking order. Furthermore, Man United remain interested in signing a new central midfielder, with Adam Wharton and Lucien Agum among the players on their radar. Speaking after Man Utd's 1-1 draw versus Fulham on Sunday, Amorim admitted, "He's Mainoo, fighting for the position now with Bruno, and I changed 2 midfielders. I let Mason Mount play there because we want to score a goal, and when I changed I felt the team needed to return to one holding midfielder near Bruno. So he just needs to fight for the position with Bruno, as it should be at Manchester United. Sometimes he's going to play with Bruno, but at the moment he's fighting and training with Bruno for the position." Mainoo has made 72 appearances for Man United since his senior debut in 2022-23 and has also been capped 10 times by England, playing at Euro 2025. Man United outbid for top target as hijack fears emerge. Galatasaray have outbid Manchester United for Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Sven Lammens as they seek to hijack his proposed move to Old Trafford. The Red Devils have been in talks over a deal for the Belgian shot stopper for some time now. Lammens is understood to be keen on making the switch to Man United, but an agreement on terms is still pending. Similarly, Man United remain locked in discussions with Antwerp over a fee for the 23-year-old. The Belgian side are not making life easy for the Premier League side, reportedly demanding up to €25 million now after talks initially centered around a €20 million figure. Despite this, there is optimism at Man United that this transfer will be concluded before the September 1st deadline. In fact, on Tuesday, reports emerged suggesting that an agreement is expected to arrive by Thursday. However, Lammens has also fielded interest from elsewhere, with Inter and Galatasaray also exploring a deal for the young goalkeeper. The latter, in particular, are not yet ready to give up on him.